much. The speaker before me is actually my colleague and a friend with whom I will share information now. We have been working together for years, and we have been actually even plotting together how to become internationally acclaimed youth activists. Mark was supporting my campaign to become Vice President of International Federation of Liberal Youth. I was supporting his campaign in becoming Secretary General of the Liberal Youth of the European Union. That was years ago. And then 15 years later, actually that's true, this was 97. 15 years later, we are debating how actually to handle the problems of raising extremism and xenophobia among youth in Europe. Maybe a question raises, did we do something wrong? Is there something that we could have done better? Or maybe the better question is how we should actually double our efforts to make sure that the tendencies and the trends that we have been talking about today are reversed into positive direction. If I recall well from part of the discussions today, Germany was outlined as a very good model. And it is very true, through all the suffering that they had had after the World War II, they have managed to develop kind of a system where xenophobia and racism are being dealt in a very specific way. We should maybe study that in a little bit more careful manner. There are so many examples that we can learn from, but at the same time, let's not forget that this is not an isolated tendency in Europe only. You have been watching all on the TV screens what is happening in the Arab world with the protests, with the revolution, and the democratic transformation of the society. However, that doesn't mean that the young people in these societies have actually abandoned racism, that they have abandoned xenophobia. On the contrary, in these countries, the current challenge is how to ensure that democracy doesn't mean that you can say everything, including also speech that can harm others and also that can promote racism in that part of the world. Hence, I very much welcome the adopted conclusions that you tend to call resolution from this conference today. The most important message was that there was a unity among the liberals in underlining how important for us this issue is. It was very clearly stated by Sergei and by Grigori this morning that it is important for the liberals to underline that we are not only there to talk about economy and about the business. Liberals are not only there to protect the markets and to ensure free trade, but the liberals have a very clear social face, and we do believe in a society that is fair and that is free. Therefore, I would very much welcome that this resolution is submitted for adoption by the Liberal International Congress in October this year, where we are going to have a wider debate, where we are going to have also a democratic legitimacy in adopting resolution, and where we are going to adopt it also as a policy which is going to serve as a guideline to our parties. The issue is not supposed to be solved, and it's not supposed to be closed by one conference. This is a challenge that we are going to face in the years to come, especially as long as the economic crisis is threatening the world. This is going to remain a priority that is going to concern us, and it's going to create also an importance for our priority agenda. Thank you very much to all of you for your active participation. Thank you everybody for staying awake. It is not easy to work on Saturday after having a heavy workload during the week and then stay in the conference until 7 p.m. It just speaks how much everybody is dedicated, not only towards this issue, but towards international liberal cooperation. And it just feels good to be among friends who are like-minded. Thank you again, and congratulations.